boşver kanka, bugün de dinlenmek gerekir. Düşünüyorum ben bu gece, ben kanka. Yazıyorum ben bu gece, sarhoş dolaşıyorum.
Ah, good one. From Turkey. Not a Turkey per se. It's Turkey. Tekirdağ. Tekirdağ. I think that was some kind of Afghanistan tune. I don't know. That would be nice if I hit the full pot there. But sometimes we have to admit that we are wrong. And yesterday's topic was about... do you remember my topic? I don't remember. Don't you have any ambitions? I would like to talk more about that. A little bit more. Because I think we feel embarrassed by not having a ambition. Sometimes you wouldn't know. Many people that I have met over the years told me that they wanted to be exactly what they are. Like having this job, being a doctor, scientist, nurse, teacher, whatever that was. Fireman, that is typical a boy child dream. But you see, from having dreams from early age, like these ones, and it turns to something maybe different. When I was growing up, dreaming about buying a lot of diamonds. Diamonds, that was my ambition. Diamonds, look into the rubies. I had dreams about the rubies. That was soft. You see, the rubies is the second hardest stone in measured Mo, and the hardest is diamond. And down the grade, I think the iron, steel, comes to the 7th or 6th. Crystal is around that. On the Mo scale, they measure hardness of things. And since diamond is the hardest, I think they use diamond in order to measure the hardness, because you can't have a soft chalk that measure diamonds. That would be messed up gauging. So the harder it becomes, the higher density of those materials that you have to measure those things with. Or they have some other measurements. I don't know whether it's a light. I think what I have discovered is that since I have this stone here in the ring, I think it's a light. It is not a stone that measure it, because it can measure, and since it's not a diamond but it's moissanite, it will easily, because the similarity of the hardness, the brightness and the quality is as it is the same. I think this moissanite is 0.75 percent or degree or hardness less than diamond. It is harder than ruby and it is less than diamond. So that is the hardness. And you see, in childhood we are soft. We are recipients of different situation in life that makes us dream. Maybe I meet. I remember this. This he's not well known, but around that period that we met him in Kenya. We met him and he was really into radio stuff and technique. And if you have seen the MacGyver series, he had this Swiss knife with him all the time. He said back in the 70s when we met him the first time, 70s or early 80s, that this is my bag of tools. It have a screwdriver, it have a nice, it even have a enhancing glass. It have these torques and different tools. Even you can open bottle of wines that is corked, if you understand my wordings. And he said that I use this on so many different levels that it serves as let me Google that. Toolbox. That is the word for that. Toolbox. And he was fixing whatever he put his hand on, he fixed. And that was very intriguing for me, even for my brother. I think my brother was even more intrigued because he had this technical interest developed before I could understand what technique or mechanic or engine or watch was all about. I didn't know all these things, and he became quite skilled. He screwed off the engine of the bike of my father and fixed it. And maybe this guy that we met in Kenya, he was Norwegian. He had been to Zaire and Uganda, I think, and told about his employment at the King's car park in that country. So that was impressive for us to listen to all the stories. And he was a very bright man, because one of his qualities was to remember. He remembers so much of every detail. He could be compared with my mother. That was not only did she tell us a lot of stories, but in so detail that you get the whole picture if you wouldn't avoid that. So in the childhood you grow up and see different things, you experience a lot of things that encourage you in some way or the other, that you get some ambitions of getting to work with those things. Maybe it's a teacher. I dreamt of being a teacher. I never become a teacher because I'm not that theoretical skilled. I think I mess it up while I'm processing it, and that is not for me. So children needs skilled teachers with PhD and so much more. But you can't feel bad about not having all the skills that you admire that other people have. You have to work with your own set of skills, so that you don't get discouraged about yourself. And here the other day, I would like to tell this story because on Tuesday, I was told by some church members that 2 weeks ago they came out of the church that I was passing through on my scooter back home. So I asked, what is this? This is a prayer meeting, Bible community in this church. So this time around, this week, Tuesday, I met up at 8 o'clock and I told the pastor, because he welcomed us and me, especially since I haven't been there before and I have never seen him before either. So I was welcomed, and he may have been curious about me, but I told him I come from the Pentecostal movement, and I have lost hope. That is good that you are here. No, it is. I don't know that. I replied, I don't know that, but I still have my belief. But I don't give the churches so much belief. I think that they are overtaken by unserious people. But I didn't say that. I didn't get to talk with him because the meeting was about to start. But when they had finished the Romans 14, as I mentioned earlier in the videos before, they finished the Romans 14, and the pastor had some thoughts around that. That was just pure historical, biblical history that I didn't see so much relevance to today's topic. But not to go into the case here, I elaborated on my own views on the chapter in relevance to today's church. Also the church that I was growing up, and stated the obvious fact that here in this meeting there is no youth, there is no children, no youth. How come that is? And it was silence. They couldn't answer because despite the word of God, and they consent to it, that we should honor each other and so on, as Paul said in Romans 14. I stated there is no youth. And I talked in a brave way. I stated something that was very concise and specific to the occasion. And yesterday, I wonder, let me be a little bit open. After that occasion, after that meeting, I would normally feel very awkward, belittling myself, hitting myself, but I didn't. I didn't feel awkward. I felt that those people may not know such issues that I'm talking about. Therefore, I should be brave of being... we have a word here in Norway. Boldly. That I should talk boldly about those views that I have. Stating something very obvious. And yesterday's meeting was more of a philosophical lecture, or not a lecture, but a course, not a course, but it was a... We gathered there, some of us, 5 of us, it became 6, with the introduction of democracy. And we were informed, quite historical, that I taped it, that Aristoteles or some great philosopher had some opinions about democracy, or when you have kings, you have different rulers, different type of governing the country, and in a way explained different aspects of our culture, the historical track of this. So he put up for us different aspects of how we could view our own democracy and our experience of it. And I started off by telling about different motivation to defend the democracy. Not only, and maybe not only defend the democracy, but defend your own right as a human. And in a way, even in that setting, I was saying that for 20 or 30 years ago, the media was regarded as the third entity, power entity in the country or in the world. The greatest, the third greatest power in the world is the media. And I said that media, in some way, pick out things to say, things to expose on a specific moment. Not in a specific way only, but in the specific moment. So I have followed up with different media's way of treating different issues. So I said that in a society that we all are dependent on the news, and that the news are so objective and non-partisan, it should be our uttermost task for the media to be objective, so that you and me can have our own opinion. And in a way, I was talking in a way that I didn't feel bad about myself. I talked bravely, boldly about different aspects and different views. So I have to admit, despite having ambitions, I didn't have any ambitions, and I have for many years felt awkward about, why, Ola, are you not ambitious enough? No, not everyone has that attribute, so prominent in them, so that they go for whatever happens in the way they are handling it. I think that is also good, because in a way you need to feel like an underdog to those high-skilled people. I needed to feel kind of an underdog. Not that I want myself any bad or wound, but I think in order to know how people can feel, in order to understand where people are coming from, you need to have this zero. You need to be the vacuum of everything. As I have felt in many, many years, I am the vacuum of everyone. No one can understand that kind of vacuum. But in my world, I think that ambitions is more of a problem. Because if the ambitions, as I said yesterday, is all about me, my own ambitions to reach the highest peak, the highest step on the ladder, I think we are very preoccupied with ourselves and defend. As I said in this our meeting yesterday, that some people can just go ignoring just the unjust that is happening to others. But when it happens to them, they are like a firing ball of fire, and they are so furious only when it hits them. Only that time. And that is not very sympathetic, because you need to fight the good fight. And what is the good fight? I think when you understand that defense of the powerless, the voiceless, those that have no justice, no defend. A guy asked me yesterday, as I was attending the place, is there a human right to have a lawyer? Yeah, but you have to pay for it. And I agreed with him in a way, because I have talked about the health system that should be free in every country. It is an investment in people's resources that you have a free health care. That should be mandatory, because we are all regarded as subjects in a system for the country, each and every country. And soon the border of every country will be wiped out, so that we become a global union. Not that I promote that. I would like to keep it the way it is, but it is also, as it is, a lot of discrimination. But according to his point, I agreed with him that each and every one should have a lawyer, that you don't need to pay any money to get your rights, to have your rights preserved and defended. Every human should have, in a free society, in a democracy, they should have lawyers that defend their right to the fullest. At the first time a lawyer takes money for defense of a client, it should be a crime in itself that the lawyer charge money for that. It is a human right to have rights. That is kind of obvious. Wouldn't it be so? And wouldn't you go for that? It is only in a screwed up mind that you have to pay for doctors, nurses, hospitals, and lawyers. So what is ambition? We have the ambition of the society. Don't we have that by the politicians? The politicians should, in fact, convey not only the will of people in a rightfully way. Not every will be heard because it can't be achieved. It has the limitation. But the politicians should in every way uphold the intention of being a politician, to keep the rights for the people, to defend every person and give them the opportunity, equal opportunity, to access whatever place, even the high and mighty. You shouldn't have application papers in order to meet someone in high power. The high power man or women should be applying to meet those that are really relevant for why they are put in their chairs. So you see, the way of the society today is screwed up, it's weird, and it is not right. And there are many things that I would like, not only for my own ambition's sake, but it should be so. But that is what I'm talking about now. It is a society that is so screwed up just because the reason is that I have my own ambitions. By that, corruptions, and you see, we step on every person when we preserve or protect or have our own ambition in order to achieve the highest level of the ladder of the society. Then we have a tendency to step on every person that is in our way. If we want to contribute, if the ambition is to do good by not only yourself but to others too, you wouldn't step on any foot. Only those in high power that are preserving their own ambitions, those in high power should be examined by what ambition are you really having. Can your acts be linked to what kind of ambition you do have? Because why did you do so? It was to protect my own ambition. I have advanced from floor to high up just in order to have some name, have some salary, have some voice for myself. But they are not into protecting other people. So I have raised my voice in a certain degree. I said yesterday to myself, God have removed some of my shyness. I thank God for that. If you can ask for a little drop of shyness that is removed from you, I think God will answer, because He will, as a clear mind, He will be giving you the boldness to convey the message that is needed. So I wish you all Shabbat Shalom today. It is Friday, and we should have ambition to reach to God in our prayer and our connection with Him.